address it.
Okay, if Steve, if you, please stand up, Steve, and if he wants to address what he says.
Yeah, my name's Steve, you know, Steve Dawson, and I remember when you came in to do the audit. At that time, the commission that was in place, of course, a lot of these folks, I don't think any of these folks were on the commission at that time. Those folks decided that because of control purposes, they wanted to keep the threshold at $1,500. So that's our fixed asset threshold right now is $1,500. They didn't want to make a change on that particular item. But we did, we since you've been in and did the audit.
And I know. I mean, I'm not trying to, like,
yeah.
I
understand.
I know this, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes off as...
Yeah, I know, we've talked about that. But what we are doing right now is we've got a fixed asset system in place. So, for example, the auditors that's coming in now, you know, they're going to have a set of books in place that has everything recorded. We've got everything digitally, taking pictures of everything, and we've also got everything barcoded. So we do have a system in place.
I guess the other thing I wanted to make you all aware of is that, and I don't know if you were or not, but who's been conducting your audit for so long? You know?
Well, we got all.
We just changed our position.
The next coming?
Yep.
Okay. And was it ever disclosed that to anybody that you worked for?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Well, I would think that would be pertinent information that people should have been made aware of at that time.
Okay, thank you very much. Any commissioner wants to make a comment?
Thank you for the info.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Any other citizen comments? All right.
I got a comment. I just want to let.
Yes, sir.
This is regarding his last comment. I worked for CTM probably 25 years ago. So just as I started my career, I had 5 years experience at the beginning of my career with CTM. So just so you all know.
That was 25 years.
Yeah, I worked there about 5 years. Is what I worked for them, and then I started into just FYI. You know, I went to manufacturing, and I spent 20 years in manufacturing before I came here. So that's what I was doing before I came here.
Okay. All right.
I've got a question.
Okay, Commissioner Wilder.
Was that ever disclosed to the commission? I was never aware.
Well, I had a resume that had it on the resume. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I don't know, my resume's on file, but I've got, you know, it's on my resume. Sure.
Okay. All right. Now, next one is discussion of tentative agenda. Who's going to handle that? Is anybody other than I am? Okay, no. I didn't know who to decide this. Okay, commissioners, we've got the agenda before you, and you look. Would you like to? Have you had a chance to look at it? Is anything, any additions or changes or deletions or what have you? Commissioner Hayden, you have your hand raised up.
Yes, sir. 7.24 in regard to setting up agreement between Wells Fargo, TPA, and the City of Frankfort for a 2-year period. Is there any way that has to be done? I personally would like to see if we could actually set the bid up earlier than 2 years from now.
If I could respond, it's a 2-year agreement. It has a 30-day out, and our intention is now that we've got off 100% paid health plan, we're going to bid the TPA this fall. So if we find a better deal, we can term that contract and sign a new contract with the TPA January 1. So there's an out in the contract.
So basically we get 6 months with them?
Yes, we'll have 6 months with them, and we'll probably in August or September we'll be bidding to look at other TPAs in the network.
Will you please keep us aware of when that bid's coming up?
We will.
Thank you.
Okay, doke. Any other? Mr. Turner, Commissioner Wilder. I have. If not, I have one. This is on 4.6, which has to do, you know, with some of the ordinance to amend the Frankfort Code of Ordinance I noticed the other, Mr. Mueller, I noticed the other ordinance, when we changed them, we show how much it costs and to what it's gonna cost. But as I was reading this one, I didn't see, do we need to put in the dollar amount for that? On 4.6. Talking
Under the
about.
financial section of the abstract?
Pardon?
Under the ordinance or under the financial
Well,
section of the
I just
abstract?
wanted, I was reading the 4.6 on the agenda. By amending the building code permit inspection fees of subsection 150.1, and the previous ones that, you know, we put in 2 or 3 in here, they've had, like, we go from $5 to $10,
Yes,
and
sir.
one from $10 to $20. So I was wondering, do we need a dollar figure in this?
There were several different sections that were being tweaked, which is part of the ordinance, and that's why I didn't spell it out. The other ones were just 1 or 2 items.
I see.
This one has a few more items that
So,
are being.
but later on, if it comes about, we'd be changing dollar amounts.
The actual ordinance that should be attached shows a strikeout and underline
Yeah.
what's being
Yeah,
added.
okay, no,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Any other, comments, all right? Now, the city manager's report and staff comments. The city manager cannot report. So I will assume that I go around in both room. All right, we'll start over here. You got any comments to make?
I do. I'd like to give a short report. We've had 21 open enrollment sessions in the last 8 days for our employees, and a little over 290 employees have attended, and we've gone through and explained how the health plan works and the changes, and it's gone really good, I think. There's been more acceptance than there has unacceptance, and I think we've really raised everybody's knowledge about that benefit plan. It's critical that we do that so that they can help us control the cost. Just a reminder for you guys and the city employees and department heads, and we put this out several times, our plan goes away on June the 30th, so everybody needs to enroll in the new plan or they will not have any coverage come July 1st. So that's just important to know. Fred asked me if I'd let you guys know. He and I did meet with an employee that had requested the 4-day work week, and he's approved that on a trial basis. And we're going to test it and see how it goes, and then we'll go from there. And then I need to ask for permission to make 3 changes to the agenda. The first is I need to add a contract with a new vendor for our employee assistance program. We've used CompCare since the early 1990s, and they require a flat fee up front, and I've negotiated a deal with a counseling service here in town that will charge when we need it. So if we didn't have any employees go for counseling in a given year, we wouldn't incur any expense. From looking at the numbers, I think it's real likely we'll save some money by going to that pay-as-you-use as opposed to flat rate kind of a contract. The second is I need to add an agreement with Wells Fargo for health savings accounts. One of the options we offered employees under the health plan was a high deductible plan with an HSA account attached to it. And there's an agreement that needs to be signed by us saying that we, give them the right to set up those accounts and do all those things. The third is I need to add Delta Dental, that we're renewing that contract. Commissioner Hedden is kind of like the TPA contract. It'll say 2 years, but we'll build in an out.
Okay.
It's already got a 30-day out, and we plan on rebidding both health or dental and vision later this fall. We're changing to a calendar year plan, so when we get to we didn't want to change everything now. We wanted employees to focus on the big change on the health plan. We'll probably, if we can tweak vision and dental, we'll probably do it January 1st for that plan year. One more thing I do, there's an employee resignation on the agenda, and I was told today that the effective date will need to be changed. She's changed the date she wants to leave, and I think it's on the agenda is June 23rd, and I actually believe it's going to be June 20th. So with your all permission, I'll make those adjustments, and we'll get them on the agenda and get you the materials as quick as we can.
Any objections to any of that?
Thank you.
Okay, I assume just go ahead. All right. Anyone else? No. Bart? Mr.
I have
Skip?
one. Item 7.13, we had recommended the rejection of the low bidder standby power. When we put the agenda together, our interpretation of their bid is they did not meet our bid spec. In subsequent conversations with them, they actually do. So we would like to change that to the actual low bidder of standby power. It will save us less than $200, but it'll save us a few bucks. But I say it was our misinterpretation of their bid.
Any objection to that? Any questions? Okay. I'll move on.
Do we
Mr.
want
Dalton.
to talk about, if one of the items that we're going to talk about tonight is the refund of some of the garbage money? Do we want to do it? You want me to express what I've heard so far, or do you want to wait and go around?
Let's wait till we go around. Yeah.
Sure. That's all I have.
Okay. On down the line. Okay, Mr. Mueller.
I've got a couple of items. One is, back in January, February, the city applied for a grant for the South Frankfort Phase 3 survey, which is a historic district survey. And part of that grant was also a 2nd Street preservation design form-based overlay. We were awarded, we asked for $19,800, and we received $17,560. So both of those are nearly fully funded. We're short $2,240, and I'm going to try to secure that with this year's, with June funding that we have left over, so that we can do both of those full projects without cutting back on any of the areas. Is my intent on that, but I did want you and I just want to blank on your Rebecca. I'm sorry, it's called. Wanted me to remind you all of that. Completely blank. So we'll be moving forward. We've already worked on the RFPs for both of those projects as well. The request for proposals are due. Secondly is the mowing contract. The city uses a third party to mow properties when the owners fail to do it after 5 days' notice. That contract was up in this coming August. We've already advertised, and end of this month we'll be getting the bids in, and that'll be on the July agenda to seek new bids, hopefully at a reasonable price for the city and the citizens. The old Y building, if you haven't heard, they had appealed the determination that it is abandoned urban property, and the Board of Zoning Adjustments agreed that it was not a urban abandoned property because they have an intended use for it. So I just thought I'd let you know that. We had 2 appeals. One was upheld, and that was off of Wilson Street. And then the second one was the old Y, and they were successful in their request.
What does that mean now?
That means their property tax will not be tripled. All the other code violations stay in effect, but they will not have a triple property tax, and they will not be told in December 20th to have it made habitable or corrected or anything like that. So just follow the standard code enforcement code violations. That's the main thing.
Okay.
And it won't be on next year's list because unless he ceases his intended use, which I doubt he will cease that intended use. It was interesting. Lastly, on 4.5 and 4.6, my 2 new ordinances, I wanted to just bring out a point that those are effective October 1, and that was done on purpose. I want to give the landlords time to get used to the new price and make adjustments, and I want the builders and the homeowners to be educated that there's a new cost for some of these building fees. So I made October 1 instead of being effective immediately. You can change that now if you want to change that, but I thought that was fair and reasonable.